in all directions, and from there you can still kick. Use your nearest weapon to the nearest target. But that's well, that's a whole topic in itself. I mean, once you get to the ground, you can have mobility, and of course that changes if someone is sitting on top of you. And what you don't have to do is that you have to learn grappling. So when you react to your opponent, it should still be with a JKD technique, and there are several techniques that you can use depending on which weapons you still have available. You all know we've got 2 arms, 2 legs, so it depends on the situation. Can you still move your arms? Can you still move your legs? I don't know if you remember the movie Fist of Fury, where Bruce Lee is caught in an armbar by the Russian wrestler, and he cannot move, and the only thing he can move is his head. So what does he do? He bites. So depending on which weapon you can use, you can still, if you can still use your hands, use your elbows. You can hit someone on the thigh, hit him in the head if it's possible. But like I said, it depends on the situation, and we will. It would be nice if I could show it with a partner what you can do. But one thing is important: you don't have to learn grappling to deal with a grappler. That's one very important thing. So a lot of the concepts guys say, well, you have to learn all the different arts if you want to be able to fight against a grappler. And we once had a conversation with Daniel Lee, and he said, so if I want to improve my marriage, do I have to take another woman just to see how it works? You have to improve within the system, so you don't have to go outside of the system. And that was an eye-opener. But I hope we can discuss that in depth later on. Okay, back to the Tao. The Facts of Jeet Kune Do, the old book, page 23. I haven't got
new book 25.
New book 25. And I think the last time we came to point 7, if I'm not mistaken. Young, crispy stuff and unassuming attacking tactics. Well, the uncrispy stuff, those are the full tactics: biting, eye gouging, etc. Unassuming attacking techniques. Unassuming means to say surprising, without telegraphing the movements. Then we come to strong infighting, and for us that's super important, because if you are an attacker, that's the range that you can be on, short range. Shifty blasting. Use your elbows, your knees, your headbutt, because you're all in short range. And if you, for shifty blasting, the torque is important, so the turning of the hips. So in short range, you use the elbow hits, knees, and the headbutts. Throwing, keep it simple. So Richard Torres told me once, you have maybe 1 or 2 throws, like the Osotogari throw from judo. I don't know if you know that throw, but basically it's just when your opponent is in front of you, you hook your leg behind his leg and you throw in. So just a simple leg throw. Grappling, same again, keeping it simple. So maybe use an armbar or a wrist turn, but not the full range of grappling. And then the immobilizations. Originally, Bruce started with hand immobilization, and later he found out that you also can use the feet to immobilize, or you can immobilize the head of your opponent by grabbing his head, but also his hair. Or maybe if he has a hoodie, just grab the hoodie and immobilize your opponent. That's all on short range. And then again, that has to be kept simple as well. Point 9, all-out sparring. That speaks for itself. And actual contact training on moving targets. So when you are training with a partner, moving targets, meaning to say that you use the focus pads or maybe a kicking shield, move around and have your partner kick or punch it. Point 10, the sturdy tools through continuous sharpening. That's a very important one. And that's also one of the main differences between concepts and original JKD. The concept guys keep adding techniques and systems to Jeet Kune Do. So first they started with Jeet Kune Do, and that was very basic. And then they started adding kickboxing, Savat, Pencak Silat, Eskrima with sticks, knife fighting, MMA. And the original Jeet Kune Do is the opposite, because how do you, here it says, continuous sharpening. Now, if you see your tools as a weapon, how do you sharpen, for instance, a knife? You do that by removing material, by sharpening it. You don't sharpen a knife by adding material. By adding material, it becomes heavier and not useful. So by continuous training, continuous sharpening, hacking away the unessentials, meaning say that you skip all the movements that you don't need. So for instance, if you want to punch, you don't pull back first, but you punch from where the hand is at that moment. Those kinds of things. And try to train that continuously. Point 11, individual expression rather than mass product. Like Bruce Lee said, I don't think you can read it on the wall on the right, but it says, when the living creature, the creating individual, is always more important than any established style or system. So the individual is important, and you have to make the system fit to you, and not the other way around. So you should fit in the system. Aliveness rather than classicism. Aliveness meaning that you have to be able to adapt. Bruce Lee once asked my teacher, Ted Wong, what the most attribute of a fighter was.
Nog een keertje, je viel weg.
Oh, sorry. Bruce Lee asked my teacher, Ted Wong, once, what is the most important attribute of a fighter? And Ted Wong answered first speed or power. And at the end, Bruce said adaptability. You have to be able to adapt to any situation, like water. Point 12, total rather than partial in structure. Meaning say total martial arts rather than partial in structure, means say rather than styles. So like Jeet Kune Do, you try to be a total system. It doesn't try to be a style. If you're limited to a style, you are limiting yourself. Point 13, the training of continuity of expressive self. Means say continuity, the flow of the expressive self, fighting techniques. So it's actually talking about combat flow here, that you are able to express yourself and that it doesn't stop, it just flows from one thing to the other. Point 14, lose power and powerful thrust drive as a whole. Lose power, snappy. You have, for instance, a snappy back fist where when you make a back fist, you turn, or you have the thrust where you turn your body in the same direction. That's the yin and yang aspect of the technique. A springy looseness, but not a physical lax body. Also pliable mental awareness. Meaning to say that you have to be neutral. You have to be able to adapt. 15, constant flow. Straight movement, linear movement, curved movement, arcing movement combined. So you have to be able to flow from one technique to the other. In the Tao, it's also shown under the elusive lead. It travels all the different paths from left to right, right to left, up, down, those kind of things. And last point, well-balanced posture of exertion during movement, constantly. So whatever you do, make sure you keep your stance, keep your balance. Continuity, again, between near all out and near all loose. So every time you have to be neutral, keep your stance and flow. Alrighty. If there are any questions, you can ask me later or just put them in the group app. And then I give the floor to Koos.
1 second. Yep.
I'll put myself on the side. There we are.
Take one.
Okay, take one. Hopefully this will work. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm visible enough. All right. Take the glasses off as well. It might be easier to be on the floor. Okay. As James earlier explained on the question of Stephen, regarding the hook kick, we're just going to practice it a couple of times together. That warms us off a little bit, and then I'll after that I want to continue with where I left off last week, which was some of the other types of footwork that we can use to break rhythm, to set up an opponent, etc. So we're starting with the mechanisms of the hook kick. Depending on the space you've got, use a pendulum step, or so you can do it on the spot, so to speak, or you can do it with a burst or quick advance, whatever you want to call it. We'll do both sides, and we'll do about 20 with each leg. Okay, just throw out a hook kick. The important parts are that we raise our leg, as James explained, with the knee remaining on the center line. Our lower leg angles out a little bit. And in this case, I stay in my stance the best. I don't deviate. Be careful. A lot of people confuse it a bit too much with a roundhouse. They go more horizontal and they throw their upper body to the side. You get more this. Don't do that. Try and stay upright as much as possible. Okay. So you ready? We're good. Take one. Doesn't matter which side you start. We'll do both sides. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And you can practice both with a thrust or a bit more snappy. 4, 5, 6, 7. Beware of your guard. Don't drop it when kicking. 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Looking good.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, change sides. And I'll have to be careful with this one. Ready? 1. Again, be careful, don't completely overextend it. You could hurt your knee otherwise. You'd have no target to hit. 2, 3, 4. So the explosive raising of the knee, that's the important bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay.
Don't drop the hand, Pete, when you kick.
You can see it best, yeah. Okay. So a little bit of footwork again. Last time we did the half beat step. I'm going to continue now with the touchdown. The touchdown is almost self-explanatory. I'm going to explain it from a step and slide motion because of the space I've got. Most people probably. So normally, if we go step and slide, remember the way we counted the beats: 1 and 2, and with the touchdown, it could be like this: 1 and now on the second time I'm going to perform it, 2, and on the and I push off. So the moment my lead leg touches down is when I launch forward. So that's the touchdown principle. So 1 and 2, boom, and like that. So you do hit on the more or less on the and, and this is why it's important that the step and slide are no big steps, because if you step too far forward, you can never push off again. Okay, so keep your motions compact. Go forward, 1, 2, boom, and push off on the and there. Okay, we're going to do each side 10, 12 times, and then the next one. Okay, so start one side forward. And what we're going to do is just 1 and 2 hit on the second one. Okay, otherwise we'll run out of the screen. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, boom. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I forgot to ask of Lee, but everybody's doing a job on that. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, gotta be careful. I'm feeling my calf on this one. So do the other side. Here we go again. So 1 step forward, bring your leg in, and step a little bit forward and push off. So you make half a step and slide on the second. Ready? There we go. 1, 1, and boom. 2, 1, and boom. 3, 1, and boom. 4, 1, 1, and 1, and so it's not a push step on the second one. It's 1 step and straight away launch. It almost looks like a push step, but it isn't. Ready? What was I? 4, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, 4. Let's make it 4. Ready? Here we go. 4, 1, boom. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Everybody understand that so far? How that works? May need practice, but if not, let us know. Maybe at the end over or in the group app, and we can go over it again another time, okay? The next one is quite simple. It's called the stutter step. It looks a little bit like the one we've just done, but it's more used as a feint, as a distraction. And what is happening here is that on the 1, I stomp my foot, and then I launch. So it's called the stutter step. So 1, and I go straight away. You stomp and you go. Okay, it distracts the opponent briefly from what might come happening. But if you were moving along, you suddenly stomp, you may break his rhythm because you come a fraction later than he expects. Okay, so we're going to do this with the stutter step now. On your own guard, you stomp and you push out with a jab on a push shuffle. Okay, so stomp first, very sharp, boom, and in. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. All right, ready? So stomp sharply and immediately out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Boom. Okay, so let's start the step. The last one of playing with distance and timing is the so-called stealer step that I want to do today. Here, you play a bit with the distance again. You can do it both forward and backwards. I'm going to practice it backwards. That's the easiest way to understand it. If you get driven backwards by your opponent and you move backwards with him, you tend to take similar steps. Let's say you're doing step and slides backwards, like so. Okay. Now we're going to take, depending on your space, actually take 1 or 2 steps backwards. But on the last one, it'd be your second or your third one. Instead of bringing your foot as far backwards as you normally do, you only take it halfway back, but your front foot still lands at the same place. He thinks you're just as far away as you were, which visibly you are, but your rear foot is further forward. Now make sure it's not past your center line. This is too small and also very much too obvious. It's still in the second half of your stance, if that makes sense. Yeah, so you bring it back to about this, but you gained about that distance because at this moment you're reverse direction and you go forward, in this case with a jab. So instead of making a full retreat, the last step, you only do halfway. Your front foot moves the same distance, but all of a sudden you're that much closer and you're hitting out. Okay, so that's what we're going to practice. Use your own space, take 1 or 2 steps back, one of them being slightly shorter with your rear foot but your lead foot goes the same way. And then you change direction and hit forward, okay? The 10 each side. So in the backward direction. Ready? Go. 1, boom. Play with the distance. 2, boom. 3. Just play with it a little bit.
Goes.
Yeah.
I see several people making a full step backward.
Yeah.
So they're making, for instance, 2 step and slide backwards.
Yeah. I can't see very well on the small screen,
No,
but that's good. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it was just as if the audio disappeared all of a sudden.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, be careful. The second step is not a complete distance backwards. Make it halfway. If the first one was 2-3 feet, the second one is only 2 feet, but your front foot moves the same distance. So he has the impression you moved the same step backwards because your front leg is the same distance. All of a sudden, you can gain that much more space because your rear foot didn't go where it was normally supposed to go, where he believes it went. Okay, go again. We were at 5, I think, isn't it? 5 or 6. Start counting at 6. There we go. Ready? 6. 1. Boom. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Other side. Okay. Ready? Here we go. 1. 2. 3. Whoops. I got a fly here. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one, 10. Okay. So that was, let's say, going backwards. You can do it in a forward direction as well, or in a changing direction. But you just have to play and give the opponent the illusion that you've moved further than you actually did. And like I said, you gain about half a step in distance, and you basically, it takes less time than to reach him. You catch him off guard, and that way you also break the timing of your shot. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that was all that I had for today. So maybe George wants to take over next. Maybe not. He sat down. I don't. Any questions? I don't know.
Okay, wie heeft er een... oh, okay, one second. Moment. Yo, yes.
No, he's still muted.
Not yet. Yes, please.
Ja?
Ja.
Ik heb even een vraag over je stopstep. Op het moment dat jij vooruit zet, dan je hiel op de grond of niet?
Die stopstep, de eerste, doe je?
De
tweede step. De tweede, oh ja. Ja, zet de voet even neer. Je stampt even op de grond.
Je stapt op het moment dat je op de grond stapt, zet je hiel neer.
Op het moment dat je op de grond staat, push je af met je rear heel to make a jab. So from the side, I'm just in a stationary position. I go boom, and I launch straight away.
Bedoel je bedoelt je achterste hiel?
Ik bedoel, op het moment dat je stap maakt, die stand, zet je dan je achterste hiel neer?
Nee. No.
Hoe kom je daarvoor? Je houdt hem omhoog.
Ja.
You want that trigger tension. That spring has to be there. So you can easily sleep forward. All you do is boop, and you launch straight forward.
Perfect.
Okay. So instead of pushing yourself forward in one go, boom, you just break the rhythm briefly by stamping, and then you push off.
Yeah. Okay.
Wayne
So you use it sparingly.
George, Wayne has a question.
Wayne, where's Wayne?
Oh, he's waving. Yeah.
There's Wayne. Righty. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I struggled with the one where you pushing off for the second time. I felt I couldn't get the forward thrust towards going forward.
That was the first one. The bounce.
And then you stop and then push. I couldn't get the momentum to go off. It seemed really weird.
It may be that your step was a little bit too big, perhaps.
Right.
That's the danger. If you go too far forward, there's no energy stored anymore in your rear leg. You can't push off anymore. Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're doing your step and slide, make them small motions like that. They're adjustment steps. You make a small step, but instead of bringing your rear heel back, so you're back in your own guard, completely in a balanced position, what feels right to you. From that, so the first move, leg moves a little bit. Now I push off from the rear. So still make sure there's enough springiness left in your rear heel that you can actually push off. If you step too far forward, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I was taking too big a step. Yeah.
Probably.
So
difficult to see, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So when you use step and slide, make sure your step is not more than about 6 inches.
Okay.
Very small steps.
Yeah.
Better 2 small steps than 1 bigger step.
Brilliant. Thank you.
All right. Any more? Eenmaal, allemaal? Nobody? Okay.
I don't see anybody waving, but then again, I've got a small screen.
Nobody's waving.
Okay,
Nobody's
all
waving.
Good.
Let me see, no background. Okay, there we are. Okay. Well, last time we got a little bit stuck in the ABC, somewhere in the A and the B probably. Do you see? I've still got the tape over here. Do you see the tape? No, not so.
Need to adjust the camera a little bit.
Where's the
I
tape?
can see it. I better put my screen on the side, then I can see better. There we are.
What can I say about the tape?
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Duct tape. Duct tape. Okay, just for warming up, we are going to start with the jab and the cross. So go in your stance, and we do it on this device on the. Do you hear the click? If you hear the click, you're gonna make the jab and the cross. What's the footwork? So the footwork is one step forward, 1 step outside, and back to your own guard. You can move a little bit around, but not with your feet, but only with your body. And 1 is there, and 2 is there. Take 2 steps forward, little steps. 1 step forward, 1 step forward. Yeah, all right. Ready? Move around a little bit, and go. I have to put the timer on. It's only 5 minutes, so no problem. Yep, let's go. That's okay. Ready? Hey, nobody hears it? You have to click. Okay, I'm going to click twice for insurance. Don't forget the footwork. Forward, side, and back.
And don't forget to keep up your rear hand when you make the cross.
Yes.
I see some hands dropping.
Ready?
Rear hand up.
So with the cross, your rear hand is over over here. Cross is straight. Rear end is over here. Don't drop it. And go back. Yep. No click.
You don't do that very well, George.
What?
Very soft, yeah. That's better.
All right. Ready? Ja, links doet het niet. Oké. Andere kant. Okay, other side front, lefty. Reset. All right. So from here, one step forward, step to the side, cross, and go back. Ready? Don't hit your iPad. Click. Hey guys, looking good. Good. Okay, we're gonna add number C from the ABC. And C was the hook. The hook is over here. Not too far. Keep it between your shoulder lines. And I'm gonna lay a little bit back. You have to turn your hip in it. Come here, turn your hip in it, and stop here. Use your steel abs to stop the hit over here. And so from the last position, from the cross, you're on the line. First one is straight on the line. Second one, you go this one on the line. And the third one, you go to step back, rotate your hip, and stop there. And if you turn back now, you have to be in perfect on guard position again. Yeah, so if you step outside, step back, and at the same time, when you're stepping back, you turn your hip in it, and you throw your elbows bow up, and you have the perfect hook. Yeah, the hook is very short. No long hooks. If you have, oh, I've got a special device over here. This is a head. If you want to hit the head here with a hook, you don't do that because you don't want to make the hook from here and go in there. If that is here, it's okay. From here, you can hook it. Boom, one straight line over here, one straight line, hook it. So you have to be close. Yeah, if you if you are further away, you will need another punch like the corkscrew hook or the palm hook or whatever, but not the normal hook. Otherwise, you break your break your fingers probably. So, from here, number 1 is take a step. Number 2 is take a step out. And number 3, step back to the original on guard position. And then you stand in on guard again. Yes, all right, ready? Do it on the click. Okay, just move a little bit with your body, with your head. You don't have to be a dummy. So number 1 is straight. All right, ready. Check yourself after the hook when you step back after the hook. And just relax, set your foot down. You have to be in your on guard again. So you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here, but you want to be here. So if you're stepping back, stepping the same size back, boom. Back to the on guard position again. And here you're in the 100% on guard. Yep, ready. Okay, other side. That's it. Okay, this first one is straight step, side step, straight punch, go back to the side, put the normal side, and hook, and back. So, relax. Ready? What was it? Okay, relax. Okay. Any sweating about this? No. Oh, coach is off. Coach is on. Any questions? Stephen is waving.
Yeah, Stephen
What's up?
Yes, thank you, Master.
Are you sweating or not?
The first punch is a kind of a jab, is that correct? The first punch is kind of a jab.
Yes.
And do you also move your head away from the line when you jab and when you cross? Or you
Yes. Well,
a little bit?
it depends, but normally if you make the punch, you're a little bit. Where's the camera? Oh, there's the camera.
Yeah, you make a shoulder roll.
Bit offline.
Okay.
Or there also. Yeah. Certainly, when you step out, your head is also out the way, and then you're going that way.
Okay.
So there. Yes.
Okay.
Sure. Any questions? No questions. Everybody knows. Oh, okay.
I was distracted. I just needed to make sure the hot tub wasn't overflowing.
Oh, okay.
Just filling it up.
Everybody's on now, so everybody. If somebody wants to say something,
I have a remark. So when you make the cross, make sure that your rear hand is up. And when you come back with hook punch, make sure the fist is horizontal and not like this. So you're using your bicep muscle to punch and not the triceps.
And use your abs to stop it. So boom, you said lock it over here, and you stop it over there, and back to on guard. Yes. All right. Anybody else? Dog attack.
Mine, not mine.
James, where is James? About the hook kick, James. I see the hook kick is kind of like 45-degree angle. It's no problem.
Yep, that's okay.
Okay.
So you don't try to lean back too much. You try to keep your body upright, and from there you just kick. So the kick goes up a little. Yeah.
Okay. On your feet, right? The rear foot actually does turn. Is that
turn
correct?
little. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. I have to buy a lighter bag, and it's easier to kick it. Move it more.
Or kick harder.
The back is a good equipment.
Yeah.
The back is also good for the hook punch.
Yeah.
If you make a wrong hook punch, you'll immediately feel it in your wrist.
Yeah.
So you have to be close, and it has to be one straight line here. If it's slightly bent, then is it click and then ow. Alrighty.
Okay. No more questions?
No more questions?
Okay. Let me see next. Yep.
The hand position on the cross punch, it just feels natural for me to come in to return rather than like that. How do I get out of that habit other than just practice?
Say that again.
On the cross, on the cross there, my hand just tends to naturally come in on the horizontal rather than the vertical. How do I get out of that habit other than just constantly practicing?
Are you talking about the cross or the hook?
Yeah, the cross. Yeah.
The cross.
The cross. Oh, okay. Well, the cross has to be, if I'm in the camera, the cross has to be one straight line.
No.
And when you don't step, the line is over there.
Yeah, well,
So
the hook. then?
It's
You're
going
in the
straight,
fist, right?
straight forward. Oh,
Yeah.
the fist?
Yeah, on the hook, my hand twists.
No, not twist. Je moet je hand. Hij bedoelt dat je hand laat draaien, but it has to be straight.
I know what you mean.
What you did.
Tensing it. Right?
Ja, nou heeft hij het over de hoek. Wel even. Are you talking about the hook or the rear punch?
On the hook.
The hook, okay. Okay. So from here, elbow goes up and you turn your hip in.
So it's just lift the elbow.
You just lift the elbow and use your hip. So it's not a wide hook from here, but slightly here. Turn your hip.
George, ik denk wat hij bedoelt is, hij voelt het natuurlijker om hem zo te houden. Dat voelt voor hem minder, less tension. Hij bedoelt, zo heeft hij dus meer stress erin. En dan vraagt hij zich af, waarom niet zo?
When you're punching in this position, so with the fist in this position, you're punching with the triceps. And you, in this position horizontal, you use the biceps. And you want to use the biceps to use it. So the tricep is more for these techniques, pushing out. Whereas the biceps is used for, it's a holding technique. And with the hook punch, the wrist, elbow, and shoulder should be on one line for the correct body alignment. So don't punch like this, but make sure it's one line.
This line.
Yeah.
It's a pulling force, right? You have to pull it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. But don't pull back.
Yeah, this.
It's going in the horizontal area here, so it's not pulling back towards you. There, it's going there. This is the head, and the head is going off. Oh, that way. Straight line. Well, that's why you have to stop it with your abs, because you already have abs, so just use it. Huh? I don't hear any yes, so okay.
No comment.
No comment. All right. Next. All right. Nobody else? No jokes? Okay, hit the shower then. See you next week, guys.
Next week.
Thank
Very much.
you.
Bye-bye. See you again.
Be safe.
Next week.
Be
Bye-bye.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
People.
Bye.
Bye. Doei. Bye.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.